Hello and welcome to Matirog's GCC Marketing Talk. This podcast brings you real voices connecting Japan and the Middle East. Today's topic is web marketing in the GCC, Gulf Cooperation Council region. We are thrilled to welcome our guest, Yuusuke-san, a marketer working at the forefront of the Middle East.
Hi, I'm Marimo. I've spent 10 years bringing Japan and the Middle East. Today, I'll be chiming in with insight on cultural differences and real on-the-ground experience.
Let's dive right in, Yuusuke-san. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me today. It's a pleasure, and I'm looking forward to discussing many topics with you.
First, Yuusuke-san, can you tell us about your career path? What experiences led you to start your company, Serious Duck?
Sure. My career path, honestly, was weird. It had many ups and downs, success and failure. I studied computer science, and during my study, I did learn programming on my own and during the time in college and university. What happened to me that time was I joined a startup while being a student. So I took the direction of trying to be part of business or building something with people while studying. That made my focus switch far from the academic little bit and look into the academic as just getting the certificate. To make it short, my career started with being part of an e-commerce startup in 2010, 11 approximately. I worked there as a programmer, and that was my start. I was a student in the university and also an employee. Then after that, the company didn't make it. I continued, of course, my study during all this time. Then I got an offer to join a digital agency. Just to clarify it to the people who are listening, a digital agency is a company that does most of the things that are digital. That goes between websites and all technology aspects, Apuri, like mobile apps, and also the marketing. So it does have a lot of experienced team members who can join forces in helping companies achieve their goals in marketing. Why digital agencies? As a concept, they work in business because you cannot these days do marketing without having technology. And it's useless to implement technology without marketing to achieve the right goals. In my career, I stayed working and switching between companies for 9 years and a half, 10 years approximately. Actually more than 10 years. During this time also, I tried to open my own projects. I failed. One of the projects was online menu portal. So it's a portal or a product where restaurants can create online menus. That was back in 2016, before Corona. I looked for funding from investors. I tried to build a prototype. I didn't get the chance, didn't work. I had to go back as an employee again. In the end, in 2023, April, it was the start of Serious Duck, the agency, the digital agency. It started from zero. I would say I used to work alone that time, started fresh from zero. The reason why I selected this name is, if I tell you, the name of the company before was Pied Piper. And Pied Piper was inspired by Silicon Valley series. If anybody watched it, you will know why this name actually took my attention that time. But because the name is very popular on Google for a company from a series, I had to change it. I had two names. One of them was Serious Duck before AI, before ChatGPT that time. I thought about it randomly, honestly. My main goal was to come up with a company name that presents or represents the personality of the people who will work in it, and also be very hard to copy. Because when you write Serious Duck, you will only find us. You will not find many good results relative to the word Serious Duck. So that's why Serious Duck was chosen in the end.
And I'm really curious about your company's focus on storytelling. What's the background or philosophy behind that?
All right. So to sum it up first, when I started with Serious Duck, I started from zero. It was risky. I had fear of, like, are we starting something here for long, or we're just doing something to make money? That was the main question that I asked myself. I'm never a person, honestly, that will just go for the money. I wanted to make a change. So I did a research that time, because I did work with many brands, like during my experience. I worked in the banking and I worked on marketing and technology of the banking industry, of automotive. Some of the brands were high-end, like Lexus, for example, or like affordable, efficient, like Toyota or Nissan. That time, I did understand brands and everything. So when I looked into storytelling and what we're gonna do at Serious Duck, I looked into all the experience that I have. So the best approach to start with anything, like the way we believe it, is with storytelling, because we are not a one-time stop where companies will come take one thing from us and go. We are more of a company that will handle a brand, take a brand, analyze it, and give it like a strategy and move forward with it. The strategy will cover everything. If you do not tell a story, then people will not be interested to listen to you as audience. And that's where we start. For example, like to put it also on business perspective, when you have a company that just gets an output, like you pay money for burger from McDonald's and you get a burger and you go, you may not come back. Burger is affordable, cheap, tasty. You take it and go. That's what happens with agencies that deliver something quickly. But for us, we are not this kind of agency. We do take a brand, we analyze it, we give a strategy, we give KPIs, and we work for a long-term plan. This long-term plan cannot work unless there is storytelling in it. And that can be proven in many aspects. A brand needs to have good story to market itself, because people love hearing stories.
Thank you, Yuusuke-san. And next question. You are involved in a wide range of services: web development, app creation, SNS management, short-form videos. Which area are you most focused on right now?
All right. I would say, okay, here I need to correct some of the things. So when we started like doing the services for websites, we defined something that we do only custom websites. We don't do ready-made templates websites. So that's one specialization that we are currently doing. The same thing goes for Apuri or mobile applications. We do them like from scratch. We avoid using ready-made templates or ready-made codes. When it comes to social media and video content creation, this is a tricky part I want to talk about. We used to do social media as social media. Some of it are videos, some of it are designs. But honestly, it's boring. So we switched the whole concept of doing SNS marketing to content creation only related to videos. So if I can tell you what you do currently as Serious Duck in marketing aspect, I will not tell you we do social media marketing or SNS marketing. I will tell you we are content creation specialized in short form videos only, and we do not do anything else. The reason, you will ask me the reason. Let me tell you here. If we do social media marketing, like it's not just about every other company is doing the same boring social media marketing. The whole approach of social media channels currently, like Instagram and TikTok mainly, goes to short videos. Sometimes maybe they tell you 1 minute videos. They try to make 1 minute videos, but they're still short videos. When we started taking care of brands and we work on a calendar, we look into the content and we are forced to give one design of like one topic. We find that like this topic, it's better to be a video than to be a design. So that made us rethink the whole way of working and the whole strategies. And we canceled, like we informed our clients that we can do designs, but we do not want to do designs. They are not going to be as helpful as videos. So we switched the whole activity to create only short form content. And frankly, it's really boring to write a brief of a design, even internally for us. I know it's weird to say that, but I want to say it. It's like designs are boring. They are not fun. And it's not fun for anybody. While if you make a video, no, videos have beautiful structure. There is the hook, the value, the call to action. So every short form video has 3 aspects. It's fun to do it. But for a design, what are you going to do? Since we do custom designs, it will take maybe 2 hours or 1 hour to do one design. That's people will look at it and will immediately move to next. While videos, no, we can actually do some action to keep people tuned and keep their attention span on it. That's why we became a short form video content creation company. When it comes to SNS, we stopped doing anything else. Maybe there is one exception only in occasions. So New Year or anything, we do 2D animation or 3D animation for our clients. ありがとうございます。
素晴らしい、わかりやすいです。
In the Middle East culture, there's a really fast passive culture and very fast response they want. People expect quick replies and immediate content. So let me know how that affect your production style or approach.
That actually is a very interesting question. I will answer it from things that were there before the technology jump that happened recently and things after. So to tell you about in general, the content has become the capital of everything on like the SNS or social media. In Middle East, it's really going fast, really. Like we do have trends that happen every day. Like if you don't catch to the trend, then you are outdated as a brand. So that actually brings me to one thing that one of our clients was a cafe, a healthy cafe. And there was a trend that time that was spread on TikTok. When we found that this trend may probably work with this brand, and it is aligned with its TikTok vision in general, we immediately thought, okay, we informed the client that we're gonna shoot a video in the same day. And we went there and we did shoot a video. We were lucky, we got 500,000 views because of that video. I'm gonna actually show it to you later, but that actually speaks on how you have to be updated. Any person who works in SNS needs to be an addict to social media. So what people say is bad for you actually is part of your job as SNS specialist, I would say. You may need to spend on weekly basis, maybe 15 hours on TikTok if you really want to be digging into the platform and knowing everything. That's not healthy, maybe, yes. Maybe psychologists would say that, or doctors. But it's a fact that if you are not up to the trends all the time, you cannot do marketing. And not just marketing, it's also content creation. That more challenges happened. Maybe 7 years ago, marketing was not about also okay, you may know a trend, but with the evolvement of TikTok especially, another thing came with the trend, which is the sounds. So if you manage TikTok accounts, there are trends and there are sounds as well. You need to be aware of the sounds that are trending. And if there is a specific trend that has a sound, all of this takes a lot of effort. And I would say nowadays, it's not the marketing manager that has university education, honestly, that is the right person to hire in the team. It is that kid that always sits in the sofa with the phone and always on TikTok and Instagram and X and those social media SNS, the channels. That person actually is more valuable than the marketing manager sometimes. The marketing manager may be able, yes, to define a long-term vision, but who does the everyday work? That kid that's doing the unhealthy work of sitting on the phone every day and checking all the trends. That's how it goes. So for that, even hiring processes changed. We do not seek marketing managers anymore. We do seek content creators. So that's what the teams of digital agencies consist of nowadays. In general, I also want to highlight one very important thing. For big brands especially, the faster you respond on social media, the more people will trust you. And the more you speak on informal, I mean, don't go very informal, but don't go formal. Stay in between. That makes people even trust you more, because if you speak, for example, in Arabic, if you speak standard Arabic these days, even for banks, if you speak standard Arabic, people may feel like there is a distance and a wall between you and the brand. They will feel scared. But if you speak with a good local tone, people will trust you more. And that also applies to English as a language, in the tone of the social media posts. That I experienced practically with some of the clients. And that includes 24/7 replies for some of the clients in the banking industry, for example. I do remember, when we started, managing, not Serious Duck, of course, in one of the companies I worked in, we were managing a bank, and we were managing the response of a bank, on social media. So we had a team, 24/7 support, And people were confused. Like they sent questions at 3 a.m. or 2 a.m. and we answer immediately. And they're saying like, this is weird. We don't believe. It's like they didn't believe this will happen. But this is how like people love you more as a brand and connect to you more. If you have dedication to always be there for them and speak their language, be closer to them. Speak their tone, not only the language. That's very important to mention. That actually created like big success. Those small actions, small budget increments make a huge difference in market acquisition. In industries like banking, automotive, insurance, so many industries, these small things make big difference in them.
Thank you. Tea break.
shukran. You are so hard work.
すごいね。ユースケさん9割。僕らずっと、just listening.
He said Yuusuke is 90%.
90%. 95%. What stands out to you about marketing in the GCC region, especially in Bahrain? What are the key characteristics that make it unique?
I see. Okay. I do believe in like to answer this, I would jump to the consumer behavior or the customer behavior before going to the strategy. When you look at the market, like in GCC and Japan, for example, like if we make a comparison, there are some main differences, and I think that will help like answering the question. In Japan, I feel the brands, they gain the validation from the society, not from the individuals. People do research before like trusting a brand, but once a brand is trusted, it's like that's it. The Japanese consumer will always go and buy from that brand. There is more loyalty, I would say. The Japanese consumer will not think again about changing when next time of purchase comes, unless there is a complaint or something that will make them change their mind. Our market here may be a little bit different because also there's another thing. In Japan, I noticed until now, the percentage of people browsing on laptops for brands, researching and going to blogs and websites, it's still high, while it's almost zero for us. People like now, it's more important to have a social media or SNS than to have a website. Website is not as important. That brings us to analyzing the strategies for the behavior of the consumers here. You need first to be always updated, like updating people on SNS. If you do not have good SNS, you do not exist. You may, unless you do have a shop that's in the neighborhood and you're very famous from long time, that's an exception. But let's assume now you are a 10-year-old brand or 5-year-old brand or 2-year-old brand or new. If you do not have continuous SNS updates, then you do not exist in the eyes of consumers. That's number one. Number two, the way we do it as a practice for strategies, we always tend to localize whatever we are giving in the name of the brand. That will help people understand it more, know more about it. Every GCC country has a case. For example, if you're marketing in Saudi Arabia, Saudi, you need to speak local Saudi Arabic first. And you should try to follow the culture in the marketing as much as possible. because like you're not just entering the market, you're entering like people's house. When you enter somebody's house, you're abiding to their culture. You're like respecting the culture. So whenever a brand enters the Saudi market, they have to convert to being Saudi. English or ego is something you're adding after Arabic, because of course there are non-Arabic speakers. That should be also reflected in the way you communicate on social media with the main occasions. Like you do have the celebrations like Eid, you have the national holidays. You do need to speak the language of the country you're in GCC. That's very important. You may have some, like, I would say, case scenarios where things differ. If you are in Dubai, it's a little bit different because Dubai it has everybody. Yes, of course, when there is a national day of the UAE, of course, you need to follow, like talk locally. But your communication language can be English first and then Arabic. So it depends on the area of the business. That actually plays a major role on how you communicate inside GCC. And that will affect your whole content strategy. You need to change the language, you need to change the tone, you need to change a lot of things. Usually, like sales, you will know the most country in GCC that buys from you, like as a GCC brand, because sometimes you might be a brand in Bahrain, but most of your customers are not in Bahrain. They could be from Saudi Arabia. Maybe your customers will be locals. Maybe your customers will be expatriates. So it depends on all those factors on how you're going to build your strategy and content plan. And that includes your tone, your brand tone, how you communicate, because that's actually what's gonna help you make sales.
So very, very, very big difference. So that is very important. If we do marketing in GCC, not only GCC, Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, Dubai, we meet strategies.
Strategy is everything, and especially if you like some brands from Dubai, they have the biggest customer base in Saudi Arabia. The way of communication should be fitting purchases from Saudi Arabia. So that will play some major role on things. That doesn't mean to open in Dubai and speak fully as if you are open in Saudi, no. But it has some cases in the rules of creating content on the languages and so many other aspects. And some brands that are, for example, like luxury chocolate brands, they may actually speak English first in Dubai, and they will speak Arabic second, because those places, people come to them, they don't come to people. So it really depends on whether you are trying to sell or you are there waiting for people to come to buy from you also.
どうもありがとう、ユウスケ。Given that religion and family values deeply rooted here, I imagine there are certain restrictions in advertising expressions. How do you navigate that balance?
So in this, actually, yes, religion and culture are deeply rooted in GCC and the Middle East in general. Yes, that created definitely some rules that separate, I would say, marketing between the West and the Middle East, mostly. Yet I don't see, like, I cannot compare it much between Middle East and Japan, because it's mostly the restrictions that are from the religion. They're creating a little bit of gap between the Western marketing and the Middle East marketing. Anyways, yes, that's definitely something that always has to be considered and looked into. There's a lot of aspects probably that are worth mentioning here. When you are advertising for a restaurant in GCC, it's most probably that you will not highlight alcohol, I would say. Every time, even if you serve alcohol, it depends on the content that you give. Like sometimes you probably don't need to highlight it always. In GCC, people who drink alcohol will know that this restaurant has alcohol. But in your marketing, you don't need to highlight that always. I would say like that's like how it is in general, but following the culture is something we always do, even like starting from the basics, which is like the celebrations that we have. That actually makes us go creative. Because when we do culture celebrations, we try to use or blend whatever we have as like services or anything into the culture. So that actually we try to use it to our advantage. I wouldn't call it a restriction unless it's like something like alcohol, yes. But in general, GCC countries also are open-minded. They are not that restricted. If I would talk about restrictions, it's mostly about alcohol. Religion in general, yes, of course, like there has to be some sort of respect, but that respect I do believe is applied everywhere, almost. It's rare to find a brand internationally that would touch that topic in their marketing. So yeah, if I would say something meaningful here as like an addition, I would say that we always look into those celebrations and special days and cultural aspects as an opportunity to create something special to present the brand in a better way for the audience. So we take it as an opportunity than to take it as a limitation. It's never a limitation.
Okay, thank you. ゆうすけさん、ありがとうございます。
私ね、今ね、I want to ask the most important question.
Okay, okay.
How is Bahrain being affected by the Iranian and Israel today's air attack? How is the situation now?
The situation is normal, honestly. Probably the only places that made money are the hypermarkets because some people got scared and they went to the hypermarket and bought a lot of products. But we did receive, we do have Apuri from government. And the Apuri has the siren, the wee sound of emergency. So I was that day, like when the attack happened on Qatar, I was working here. Suddenly I heard like the sound, like wee.
Wow.
So I was like confused, like what's happening? And my friends were visiting me at office. So when they reached, the sirens started like playing. We went outside and we checked, like there is nothing, literally nothing. So nothing happened actually. No single attack happened on Bahrain. But it was good opportunity to probably finish a lot of stock of products for hypermarkets like Carrefour and those. They sold everything.
Oh,
Yeah, because people were scared. It's like, will anything happen? Families mostly bought a lot of supplies and products and food. But I personally, I saw the news, but I didn't get scared at all. If I can tell you something, I was born in the GCC and I lived all my life in the GCC. The GCC leaders, especially nowadays, are extremely smart. They will not let stupidity or people fighting for whatever reason affect their people. Those people here in the GCC have been building their countries since a lot of years. After developing their countries to that level, they will not let two angry countries honestly affect their land with whatever thing. So my personal analysis also is I do believe even the attack that happened on Qatar is fake. It's not. Yeah, it was staged.
Whoa.
Yeah, I do believe strongly that it was staged because Qatar, as a country, like forget America and this, Qatar will not be silent if they suddenly saw that missiles are attacking. They knew, they were told, and it was like a whole play. That's my personal opinion. I don't know about Israel and Iran, like them bombing each other, but I do know one thing: the GCC region has probably the best leaders in the Middle East, and those leaders, they protect their people and they protect their countries at any cost, and they will not let those two countries like Israel and Iran touch them or affect like the development that's happening. And like that makes me also very safe and comfortable being here because I know like I'm protected as like as an expatriate.
Yeah, good. In Japan, we can't believe government.
We can
Yeah,
trust
in GCC,
the government in
leaders
Japan.
very strong. Yeah, very good.
That actually, like, I think if we look into this, because in GCC, like, or Arabs, they are very emotional and they're connected to their leaders emotionally. And you know, their leaders have been their leaders from long time because of the royal system. So that brought trust because it's been long years and they're protected. So that I think is the reason why people here are having like different probably experience about like trust and things, because it's like a father taking care of the sons or the family. That's how we view it. Like that's even how I learned it in school about how people view GCC leaders in their countries. But it's like definitely different. Like I even like when you were telling me about like you do not trust the government, even in the consumer behavior here, we blindly pay by Apple Pay or any electronic payment. I literally do not hold cash from 2020. I maybe have held cash maybe 2 to 3 times only. All my money is in banks and
All inside mobile.
exactly. It's all in digital side mobile. We do not have cash at all. We do not have cash at all, like zero cash. And not only people, all people. While in Japan, I know from long time that people do not trust the banking system and they do not always tend to put like all the money in banks. Like, I mean, compared to having also some cash, and they prefer to hold also cash amounts with them. That actually also brings like some difference. Like people here are cashless. All their money is in banks, and the least of their worry is to lose their money because of the banks or anything. So, like I would say, there are some differences in behavior of consumers. That's also related to the structure of the country and how it is. But that definitely here only applies to GCC, not to the whole Middle East, because there are countries that are a little bit different than GCC. GCC is the ideal scenario of growth for Middle East.
これはますます成長。
Yeah. Thank you.
Growing.
Thank you, Yusuke. And we can hear very. Thank you, Shukran Jaziran Yusuke. We can hear very valuable information.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Direct GCC information, because we can't like this interview. I never see in Japan. This is marketing company to direct interview to Japan to GCC market to digital marketing company.
Thank you so much. And
Thank
if
you for
you
cooperation for us.
Thank you for cooperation. And
thank you.
please,
あ、そうだ、ラスト
next
question.
next time, please tell us the opportunity of collaboration, Bahrain and Japan.
Of course.
There,
I'm always
next week とかね。next
マテロ
time.
グさん、これ、very important question. ユウスケがどうしてユウスケって名前にしてるか。
Oh, yes. Please
Yes,
tell
sir.
us the roots of the name Yuusuke.
Why your name?
Why your name Yuusuke? Please tell us.
Okay. That's an interesting
Roots
question.
of the story.
Very important.
Thank you. Actually, I thought I will be asked this question today. So for me, I started knowing about Japan from one video game, Biohazard.
Biohazard. Oh.
Biohazard was the game because I used to play Biohazard like Kodomo no Toki Kara. That day I was browsing on the internet and I found a video making of Biohazard. And I saw that the makers of Biohazard are from Japan, not America. And I was curious to know more about Japan because that time there was only basic internet, like long time back. I read about Japan. I loved the culture of Japan. I started learning like kanji and hiragana during school days. And then I went to university in Bahrain. When I went to the university in Bahrain, I had two group of friends, Arabujin and like non-Arab speaking, like from all other nationalities, non-Arab speaking ones. For me, somehow I checked a website that time, Japanese name generator, and it gave me the name Yusuke. And I just I got to know people that time in Daigaku, and I told them that I can teach you basic Japanese. And they told me, yes, let's do that. Please teach us. So I created a mini course in university, unofficial, to teach people basic Japanese. And when they asked me about my name, I told them Yusuke. So after that, while I'm sitting with my Arab friends, those people come and they call me Yusuke. So my Arab friends looked at me and they said, like, you are not Arabujin anymore. We'll call you Yusuke. So after that, I started working. And my boss was shocked when I introduced him to my friends. Everybody calls me Yusuke. And then he told me, like, why do you keep your Arab name anymore? It's like, just change your name to Yusuke. Like, and I changed it. Like on LinkedIn, it's Yusuke. On everywhere, it's Yusuke. It just went with me. I chose it from a random website. It went with me.
Very interesting story.
Great.
But yeah.
Mashallah.
面白い。マシャラ。マシャラ。
So, Yusuke, because I don't know about your original name. I know only Yusuke. Yusuke
Yes,
is
I only have Yusuke. I only use Yusuke actually.
We use only Yusuke.
Yep. In general, like I keep the letter M for my Arab name, which is Muhammad. But I even struggle with my family name in Arabic because it's very hard to pronounce. So it is Babili.
Babili.
No, not Babili. It's Babili.
Babili.
Yeah. So it's a little bit difficult, and it created a lot of problems that even Arabujin don't know how to pronounce it. And
Really?
so I avoid always going for like family names or surnames. Like I will always stick to the first name. That's why it goes like this.
Thank you for teaching me.
Yeah, first time I heard history 言わでん。
いきますよ。はい、3、2、1。はい、Thank you! Thank you, ゆうすけさん、まりもさんもありがとう。はい、Goodbye!